Hi guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we are going to be making a hearty and savory one-dish meal, and it is going to be keto beef stroganoff. So come along with me and let's get started. Because this is beef stroganoff, you are going to want some beef. I happen to be using chuck steak here for mine. You can use any cut of beef that you would like, but you do kind of want it to be a quick cooking beef. And you do want to pre-cook it a little bit or sear it, which is what I have done. And you're going to need about 2 pounds of it. If you choose not to use steak, there are some people that do make beef stroganoff with ground beef. So if that's something that is preferable to you or more readily available where you are, you could definitely use ground beef. You are going to need a large pot. We are going to be doing everything in that pot, and mine is about an 8-quart stock pot. Inside of my stock pot, I have 1 tablespoon of butter because I am going to saute onion and mushroom. So I have 8 ounces of chopped mushrooms here. These are just white button mushrooms. You could use cremini or baby portobellos, anything you want. If you don't prefer mushrooms, you can omit them. I also have 1/4 of a chopped white onion. And both of those are going to go in and start sauteing. So we have sauteed for our 6 to 7 minutes, and our onion and our mushroom have broken down and they're nice and tender. So we're going to start adding our other ingredients to form our stroganoff sauce. I have 2 cloves of fresh crushed garlic here. I have 1 cup of beef broth, and we are going to be starting with 1 cup. We might add a bit more later, but for now we are starting with 1 cup, and I'm using beef broth to incorporate the beef flavoring. So we are going to start seasoning our sauce with a couple of different ingredients. The first thing that I'm going to be putting in is some of this Kinder's steak blend. We got ours at Costco. You can find it on Amazon. You can use Monterey steak seasoning or any other kind of beef seasoning, beef all-purpose seasoning. I have about a tablespoon here. I'm going to add a couple of splashes of Worcestershire sauce. This is something that I really enjoy using, and it really brings out the flavor of beef very nicely. So I'm just going to do a couple of splashes of that. The next ingredient is Dijon mustard, and I'm going to be putting about 2 teaspoons of this, or a couple of squirts in. And Dijon is really good because it has a little bit of wine, and it's very acidic, it's vinegary, and we want that to assist in complementing the flavor of our stroganoff. The last seasoning that I'm going to be putting in is a little bit of smoked paprika. Now, beef stroganoff is actually a Russian dish, and so I want to add a little bit of paprika because that is very common in Russian food. Just a couple of sprinkles. It's also going to assist in giving our broth a really beautiful, deep brown color. So the next 2 ingredients that I'm going to add are what is going to assist our gravy or our stroganoff sauce to have a bit of creaminess, which is very common in stroganoff. Typically that is sour cream, and I am going to be using some of that. But I'm also going to be using about 4 ounces of softened cream cheese. I'm using Philadelphia brand, and I have let this come up to room temperature. And our pan is just on a low simmer right now. And the cream cheese will dissolve and become smooth. I'm going to go ahead and add the cream cheese now. And this is about 1/2 cup. I'm using what's left in my sour cream container, and it is about 1/2 cup. So there's our delicious stroganoff sauce with our onions and our mushrooms. Now the last thing that we need to do is to put our beef back in here, and we'll let everything simmer for about 20 minutes or so, and then we'll be ready to eat it. And definitely make sure you get all the juices that you had when pre-searing your meat, because that's the yummiest part. Okay, so I'm just going to combine everything, and then I'm going to put a lid on it and just let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. Hi.
Hi.
So you're going to be my handsome kitchen helper.
Thanks.
Zoodle for us.
Okay. So for those who don't know what Zoodles are, they are basically, this is a spiralizer. This is a handheld one. They do sell, you know, electric ones. Yeah. They sell ones that you can turn with a crank. But this is all you need. But there are other options. We're using zucchini, but you could use squash, yellow squash with this.
I think they even make one that's called gray squash. That's kind of in between yellow and green.
I don't know. Anyway, so we're just gonna use this. It's gonna make it, you'll see, but it's gonna kind of make it like noodles, almost like spaghetti noodles, except it's zucchini. And you know, back in the old days, this is the only way you could get Zoodles. Now you can actually buy these in the store. So like I always say, keto's a real thing. So if you get one like this, it's gonna normally have two sides, and it's basically just for the...
so like spaghetti and fettuccine maybe?
Yeah, yeah, so I always forget what side is which though. But anyway, we'll just start on one side for a demonstration. And we'll see what we got. So this looks like spaghetti, or
I think that's fettuccine. I think spaghetti's even finer than that.
Okay. And you're just twisting it. And a lot of them come with like a top that you can shove into the...
I think it has spikes on it.
Yeah.
To hold it.
To hold the zucchini so you can spin it. If you use that, the trick is to get really firm zucchini, because if your zucchini's soft, then that attachment won't work. And then, so that's kind of what it all looks like. And you just repeat it for as much as you need. Yeah. So that's how you zoodle. And yeah, it's pretty simple.
And I'm going to put ours in a microwave-safe bowl and steam it for about 5 to 6 minutes, and it'll just soften it a little bit.
Yeah, and you're going to need to make sure you drain it after that, because it will generate a lot of water.
So it's been simmering for about 20 minutes. The sauce is going to thicken as it stands, and I also noticed that it's very thick the next day, so you could, of course, make this ahead of time. I'm going to put this over the zoodles that we prepared. It's nice and beefy and mushroomy. And we're gonna let CJ tell us what he thinks. Tonight's delicious dinner is Keto Beef Stroganoff over Zoodles. Hiya.
What?
Hiya. That's hi you.
Hiya?
It's like y'all.
Okay. Hiya back.
Taste this yummy beef stroganoff and tell us what you think.
Okay. I'm not gonna worry too much about the Zoodles, because that's not really the star of the show.
That's correct.
It's really flavorful. Wow, this is better than the first batch that you made. And there was nothing wrong with that, but this is, I don't know what you put on it, but this is super flavorful. The beef is by itself, so excellent. Good job, baby. I think people will like it. And it looked like it was fairly easy to make.
Yes, it's a nice one-pot meal for sure.
So, thanks, baby. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you'll consider subscribing and coming back for more fabulous meals. Until next time, be well.